The film opens with a Porsche and a motorcycle racing through the streets of Kiev to a casino. Petro is on the bike. His friend Ole is in the Porsche. The terms are already set. Whoever arrives first at the destination gets the other's vehicle. Petro wins. He gets the Porsche. Ole is furious and complains that their endless childhood bets have been ruining his life for decades. But he hands over the keys. Inside the casino, Petro and Ole join their friends Andriy and Max. Ole starts needling Petro about his inability to commit. Petro has been walking this earth for over 30 years, as his friend puts it, without learning that family life does not cancel out fun, but actually adds to it. Petro insists it is not that he cannot be with one woman, it is that he does not want to be. Ole tells him that is the same thing. The ribbing escalates until Petro, stung by a dare he cannot resist, challenges Ole directly. Name the terms. Ole says 1 month, 1 woman, normal, not one of the casual hookup types. If Petro wins, he keeps the car. If Petro loses, he returns it and gives foot massages in the sauna. Petro takes the bet immediately and with more confidence than the situation warrants. The next morning, Petro wakes up next to a woman named Lily he brought home from the casino. Before he can figure out his morning, the doorbell rings. On his threshold stands Veronica, Ole's sister, recently divorced, looking for a temporary place to stay. Petro barely recognizes her. When they were children, he would call her the fat kid and compared kissing her to kissing a frog. She is not what he expected. He calls Ole and tells him with unconcealed excitement that his sister has turned into an extremely beautiful woman. Ole, completely unmoved, reminds him that touching Veronica is not part of the deal under any circumstances. Petro agrees. The deal stands. Then Veronica's children walk in. Marco is the older one and Marta is younger, and together they constitute a small, focused, natural disaster. 2 children were not in the original terms, Petro argues. Ole says children are just part of Veronica's life and not a breach of the bet. Petro, unwilling to surrender the car or his pride, accepts this. He introduces himself to Marco and Marta. Marco and Marta stare at him with the calm, evaluating expression of children who have already identified a target. The apartment, which Petro keeps with the precision and pride of someone who has lived alone for 30 years and has arranged everything exactly as he likes it, does not survive the first 24 hours. Marco and Marta discover his expensive imported soap in the bathroom and foam every available surface until the room resembles a car wash. When Petro finds this and reports it to Veronica, who reprimands them firmly, they respond by moving operations to his bedroom, ransacking drawers and pocketing his personal items with the organized efficiency of a small professional burglary team. He attempts to buy goodwill with chocolate cake, going directly against Veronica's no sweets rule on the grounds that children can be temporarily bribed into cooperation. He is not wrong. He gets approximately 4 minutes. Then he discovers Marco and Marta in his study with his passport and a pair of scissors. The passport does not survive. Veronica, for her part, is not a passive presence. She thanks Petro sincerely for letting them stay and promises to find work and be out of his apartment as soon as possible. She invites him to have a drink with her so they can talk about his car repair business. He relaxes into it. She is easy to talk to. He is not ready to admit how easy. When Lily appears at the front door the next day expecting a normal morning and begins removing her coat, Marco and Marta emerge from the hallway. Lily departs at speed. Petro, running from the chaos, bumps into Ole outside, who suggests the obvious: forfeit. Petro refuses. Ole has been running a side operation from the very beginning. He has convinced Marco and Marta, separately before the bet even started, that Petro is a mutant who is attempting to end the world. This explains the dedication and consistency with which the children have been targeting him. When Ole comes over to watch football with Andriy and Max, he puts the children to bed with the practiced ease of an affectionate uncle, and Marco and Marta gleefully debrief him on the day's achievements before falling asleep. Petro, on the other side of the apartment, performs normalcy for his friends. He pretends the children are fine, manageable, no problem at all. He is not going to lose the car. He is not going to lose his pride. He sits with his friends and wonders what the remaining weeks of this month are going to do to him. The next morning, he wakes up to find tattoo stickers applied to his face while he slept. He goes to the golf course looking like this. Andriy and Max do not let it go. He complains to a woman named Keisha at the course and tells her everything Marco and Marta have done to him. He receives a text from his mother. she is coming to the apartment. Petro's mother, Lena, is a woman of strong opinions, relentless energy, and the particular conviction that her son is both too thin and too single. She has photographs of eligible women ready on her phone. The problem is Veronica, who will now have to pretend to be Petro's wife, because Petro, who does not want to spend the visit being introduced to potential brides, makes this arrangement with Veronica the night before. In exchange, he will take Marco and Marta to their school concert while Veronica attends a job interview. She agrees. Lena arrives and immediately identifies that her son is not eating properly. She finds the refrigerator insufficient. She finds the dishwasher wasteful. She finds Veronica's cooking philosophy, which tends toward healthy food, perplexing, and says so directly and at length. She instructs Veronica to feed her son like a normal person. Pro is no goat or rabbit, Lena explains. Veronica absorbs all of this with the composure of a recently divorced woman who has survived worse. When Petro returns from the amusement park, where he discovered that all modern children and their parents spend park time looking at their phones, and where he demonstrated a fitness move that attracted an audience of every woman in the vicinity, he finds his mother and Veronica talking warmly, like old friends. Lena has decided Veronica is a good woman. She tells Petro to be careful with his wife, says goodbye warmly, and goes home the same day. Petro had planned to use Lena to drive Veronica out. Instead, his mother simply liked her and left. The morning of the school concert arrives with its own complications. Petro sleeps through his alarm despite needing to get Marco and Marta to school on time. Marco and Marta, embarrassed by their pickle costumes and desperately looking for reasons not to perform, contribute to the delay enthusiastically. They arrive late. The class performs without full cast. The judges score them badly, and the teacher informs the children in front of everyone that their father's absence caused the problem. Then the teacher adds, about Marco and Marta specifically, these ones do not have a father. Petro, standing in the back of the auditorium, goes very still. Then he argues with the school principal with considerable heat. He takes Marco and Marta to the fun park immediately after to make it right. At the fun park, Veronica gets the news. She has been hired as the new choir teacher. On the way home, Marco and Marta confess everything, the sabotage, the stickers, all of it, and the fact that Uncle Ole told them Petro was a mutant. Petro is furious at Ole and tries to tell Veronica what actually happened. The conversation goes somewhere else entirely. He does not know exactly when it happened, but it has clearly happened. The arrangement seems to be working, until Lily returns to the apartment while Petro is out one morning buying breakfast. She forgot a necklace. She tells Veronica about the bet, all the terms, the Porsche, the month, the whole arrangement. When Petro comes home, the apartment is empty. The posters are back on the walls exactly as they were before Veronica arrived. A note on the table reads, "Everything was a mistake." Petro calls Ole. Technically, under the terms of the bet as they were written, Petro has won. Veronica is gone. The month is done. He has won the Porsche back and kept his pride intact, and he is not happy about any of it. He is, in fact, miserable. Andri and Max arrive to celebrate. Petro throws them out. He screams at Ole for lying to children, for using Marco and Marta as pieces in a game they did not know they were in. Ole, for once, has nothing to say in his own defense. Then a video arrives on Petro's phone. Marco and Marta recorded themselves explaining exactly why they left and what happened, with the complete emotional honesty of children who have decided someone deserves the truth. Petro and Ole go to find Veronica. They trace her to a new choir rehearsal space. Petro walks in. He tells her he fell in love with her. He tells her he was afraid of the children at first, but that Marco and Marta are part of why he is happy. He proposes. Ole stands behind him and confesses his own role and asks Veronica to accept. Petro hands her the keys to the Porsche, not to keep, but to donate to the choir so they can sell it and fund their competitions and uniforms. Veronica says yes. The film ends.